Well, today I've got a little bit of a mess on my hands. So I've decided, with maybe a little bit of controversy, I don't think much, to get rid of the stereo that came with the car. It's been fine. I haven't hated it, but I decided to convert to something that's actually got CarPlay. So I am trying to figure out how to get all this wired in a way that's going to work, because there was a lot of stuff going on in here. Some of it from me, because when I wired in the acceler or this thing, and when I wired in my own concoction down there, and I had a boost gauge here and power, I have since decided to disconnect it all. So now I've got to do the work to figure out what's what. So some of it's marked. As you can see here, it says plus B. I'm not sure what plus B means. And this is the old harness here. This is the harness that connects to the car. So I've got all this stuff. It's labeled. It's in Japanese for the most part. Some of it's not. So ideally, all I have to do is wire my new harness up to this, and this should give me all the power or everything I need. But I've got the manual for this. So I don't know what some of these purple and green wires are here. Those might just be the rear speakers, since I don't think this came with rear. And so they may have, pulled them, wired them themselves, and then the rest. So I would assume purple, green are probably rears, rear left and rear right. You've got all your illumination and auxiliary power and grounds and antenna. That one's fused. And then there's another one down there. Sorry. I know this is a mess. I'm sorry. I started doing all this stuff and I wasn't filming, and I thought maybe I should film this. This is for my sub here. So yeah, it's a bit of a mess. Microphone from the old one, which I'll probably keep and see if it works. But like I said, I have the manual, so I can figure out what some of these wires are for, but I'm assuming that's what that is. I just don't know if that's the rear speakers. Maybe these black and white ones goes this gray with a black stripe, white with a black stripe. These might be the fronts, because it's already wired for fronts. These would be grounds. I got a couple grounds, and I'm not sure how that's going to work, but so yeah, I think that's all that is. So I don't know what plus B means. So this would be power. I've got a few grounds. I've got microphone. I would assume the black, gray, purple, and green are all speakers. But yeah, we're gonna try to figure this out. I kind of regret unplugging everything first, and I wish I would have went like one at a time, but I've done this before. We'll get through it one way or another. So anyway, I'll update you here shortly when I start getting things plugged back in. Okay. I'm actually glad I'm doing this. I feel like it's given me an opportunity to just clean up a bit of a mess. So I know this looks like an absolute disaster, but I think I've got it figured out. So right now I only have power, 12-volt power, accessory power, and a ground hooked up. So that's enough to, as you can see, power on the stereo. This ground that comes from the main wiring harness is not grounded. So I was having a hard time figuring out why I couldn't get anything to turn on, and I realized that is why. So sorry, the mowers are outside. Hope that's not too distracting. But anyway, so I found out that this ground is not actually a ground. It's useless. I don't know what's going on with that. So I ran a new ground, tapped everything into the new ground. Okay, sorry about that. I had to wait for the mowers to stop. But anyway, I've got everything up and running. I've got Bluetooth, or not Bluetooth, CarPlay set up. I've got music playing. And now I'm going to start messing with the speakers just to see if I can get all the sound back together. But that's all that's really left, is just get the sound connected, the speakers connected. The sub, I just connected the sub and I can hear it, so I know that's working. Yeah, all that's left is just front, right, front, left, rear, right, rear, left speakers, and we're good to go. So I'll be back. Okay. Not as bad as I thought. I was super intimidated by it. I'm going to turn that on accessory. But I'm glad I did it, because I did a little cleanup, and I've still got a little bit to do because there's some stuff. Like, I have no idea what this power wire goes to. I don't even know if it's, I don't know why it's there. Oh, I think I actually might know. Let's see. Yeah. So there are, I should say, LEDs in my footwells. You can kind of see, like, that's some right there, that are kind of pointless. I mean, they're cool, but I'm realizing now I couldn't find the illumination wire at first. So when you turn on your headlights, this dims. And I found it and I plugged it in. As you could see, it was working. But then I realized, like, I think what it was doing was triggering this power to this, which was then turning those on or something. So I'm probably just going to rip those out anyway. Unnecessary. I'm not big into that. So, but yeah, this is super cool. I'll try to see if I can get this shifter out of the way. Okay, so shifter out of the way. It's loading. It does take a few seconds to load, which is interesting, but it's not too bad. And then it'll drop right into the settings screen. You can see it's got all sorts of settings. Oh, it jumped right into CarPlay. So you can see, works pretty good. I've got the beta running at the moment. By the time this comes out, this may already be out, but I'm running the beta, so you get some widgets in here, which is kind of nice. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty responsive. It's got all the stuff. There's, I mean, Spotify's great. Scroll through everything. If you go home to the settings, and it's wireless, by the way. Oh gosh, I'm not sure you could see any of that. It's wireless. That's if you go to Power Acoustic, it brings you back here to the settings. You know, it's got your general settings, got your Bluetooth settings, it's got all this stuff. I don't know what reverse volume means. I've got a subwoofer, so we'll leave that alone. Default volume, it's kind of neat. Fader balance it shows, so you can like adjust, which is nice. EQ, it's got all the EQ stuff you can do, so pretty nice. Home, and again CarPlay, just in case you couldn't see it before because I didn't look, but it's not bad. I'm digging it. That paired with my gauges up here, pretty cool. Anyway, just wanted to share. Yeah, I'll have a link to this specific stereo in my link below. I mean, it's basic stereo wiring. So you've got positive, negative, front, left, positive, negative, front, rear. Same for the right, left, and left, rear. you've normally got a 12-volt power, which is helps maintain the memory, right? So when you look at the clock, although that's the clock it's saying, I don't know if it's right because yeah, it's right. So it maintains that, and then it's got accessory, which turns it on when you turn your key on, and then the illumination, so when you turn your headlights on, it dims. And that's the basics. I have my subwoofer going in the back also. It does come with a GPS. I need to do more reading. I'm not sure why I need the GPS if I'm using my phone, but it does come with one. It does come with hookups for a backup camera, which I am not using, but you can. And it looks like it's also got like a video in, which I need to play around with it more. But it's also got so that's my iPhone. Yeah, so I don't know what I was gonna say, but yeah, I'm still playing around and learning. Because now that I'm stuck in here, I don't know how to get out of this. Oh, you push that button to mute, which is nice. Anyway, so that's the install. I'll put a comment below after a couple weeks of driving around with this and let you know how it works. I did read a lot of reviews before I dove in. This one was, I want to say it was $150. There are a lot of $60 ones on Amazon, but they all kind of have just iffy reviews. And I was really hesitant to buy something super cheap. I wanted something that, you know, this one's got some reviews too. Oh, the fun of peeling up plastic. Probably more responsive now that my plastic's not on there. But there are much cheaper ones that you can get. So purchase at your own risk. I wanted something that felt nice and had some good reviews, so that's where I'm at. But yeah, I'm so far super impressed with this. I'm curious about, like, so the brightness is fine. Illumination detector I've got. I don't know what this means. Key. Oh, so I can change the color, I guess. So that's nice because I've got, I think everything's kind of red in here, right? So it's showing these buttons over here. So when you have that on, it kind of just, I think it picks a random color or rotates through. So I'm going to keep it on red to match everything. Radio area. I don't know what that means. Oh, it shows where you are. Rear camera. I don't have a rear camera set up, although it's pretty neat that it'll take one. If I ever wanted to do that. Wi-Fi setup. GPS connection status. I don't have the GPS connected. You can change the wallpaper, change your startup logo. So I might put a Jason and the Jimny logo on here because it says you can save a JPEG picture named to the root of a flash drive, connect it. So I might do that and put the Jason and the Jimny logo. That's a pretty cool idea. Serial inversion. I think I need to update it from what I read online, although it's working fine. But I'm not sure how to do that. But I'll have to do a little research on how to connect this and update it, whether I throw a USB in here. It's interesting that it tells you to put a USB stick on, but this is USB-C. I'm sure they make USB-C ones. I don't have a USB-C one, but I'm going to figure that out because that'd be really cool to have this be my logo on startup. But anyway, that's it. Just a quick enough one, not a hard one. Intimidating for sure. I've got a little bit of cleanup to do with some of the wiring that I've got to just put back. But pretty happy overall with the way it's turned out. So if you're looking for something to kind of upgrade yours, there's not a lot of room here. I know I was in the process of designing a double din, which I might still do. The problem with a double din is there's not enough space. You'd have to cut some of the space in the back, unless the double din is just screen with a single din, kind of the back side, because there's no room to slide a double din in there. So you'd have to kind of modify the place where the radio slots in. It's doable, and I don't think you're going to mess with anything, but as you know with me, a little bit beyond what I want to do. So, but yeah, it's doable, but I think this is a great alternative. I don't think there's a need for a double din at all. This is a pretty good size screen. People complain about the volume buttons being up and down buttons instead of a knob, but the problem with those that have knobs is it usually steals some of your screen real estate, just the way that it's kind of modeled with a knob that's tactile enough to be able to grab. But I was okay with this. It doesn't bother me. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool. So anyway, let me know what you think. Again, I'll have the links below to check it out, and yeah, see you on the next one.